Ever feel like your brilliant YouTube videos are just vanishing into the void? I mean,
Hmm.
YouTube's the second largest search engine out there, and getting noticed. They can feel like, well, finding a needle in a haystack almost.
Yeah, definitely. Or a grain of sand on a beach, like you said. It's huge.
So how do you actually get your content seen? That's really the core question we're tackling today, getting into the nuts and bolts of YouTube SEO.
And to help make sense of this, sometimes confusing and always changing world of YouTube rankings, we're going to explore a really practical idea,
Okay.
a YouTube SEO sensor. Now, this isn't some like physical gadget.
Right.
It's a concept that came straight out of the real world experiences of Leo and Mark, the creators behind the Bang Scene AI Studio YouTube channel.
Ah, yes. Their David versus Goliath series, I remember that. Really highlighted their whole journey trying to figure out YouTube.
Exactly. They really show you the struggle and the strategy involved.
So think of this deep dive as maybe your shortcut to understanding how using data smartly and having a real strategy can be a total game changer on a platform as massive as YouTube.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Our mission today is really to explore this YouTube SEO sensor concept and get a handle on the basic challenges of just knowing where you stand in YouTube's giant landscape.
Yeah.
We'll be learning from Leo and Mark's experiences, which I think are pretty relatable.
Okay, so let's start with the main problem that kind of sparked this whole sensor idea.
Right.
It's the sheer difficulty, the complexity of keeping tabs on your YouTube visibility. Imagine trying to manually check where your videos rank for, I don't know, a whole bunch of different keywords.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
It is. And it's not just one search term, right? It's
Mm.
many. And the results can actually be different depending on where you search from or even what device you're using, phone, computer.
Mhm.
It can get overwhelming really fast.
Absolutely. Mark from Bang Scene AI Studio even talked about feeling like he was stuck in a wasteland.
Right, before they got more strategic.
Exactly, before they started taking that more strategic approach.
Right.
And as they've really stressed, just making great videos, well, it isn't quite enough.
Nope, not anymore.
You got to really dig into what people are actually searching for. That's the keyword research part. And then make sure your videos are, set up so YouTube understands them and shows them to the right audience. On-page optimization, basically.
And it's not like you do it once and you're done, is it?
Definitely not.
Leo and Mark found that out the hard way. They had this video doing incredibly well, even hit #1 in the rankings for their target keyword.
Wow. Number one.
Yeah. And then, poof, it was gone. Or, well, dropped down.
Even though the video was still doing well.
Even though the video itself was still performing strongly by most metrics, they lost that top position. It just really shows how the YouTube algorithm is constantly being tweaked, updated.
And the competition.
And of course, the competition is just relentless. The whole playing field is always shifting under your feet.
Which brings us nicely to their proposed solution, this YouTube SEO sensor. So just to clarify, it's not a physical thing you buy.
No, not hardware. It's more like a smart project idea, a system.
Okay.
A system designed to automatically keep an eye on those crucial YouTube rankings for the specific keywords that really matter to your channel.
Gotcha. So how would it work
Yes.
conceptually?
So at its core, this sensor needs to do a few key things. First up, data acquisition, getting the raw information.
Okay.
This is where the YouTube data API, specifically version 3, comes in. They'd likely use a method called search.list.
Right, the API. That's like the official way programs talk to YouTube.
Exactly. Think of it like a special messenger. Your program, probably written in, say, Python, sends a request via the API asking YouTube, hey, for this keyword, what are the top video results?
Now that sounds powerful, but probably not super straightforward.
Well, yeah. It's not quite like typing into Google. There are real-world hurdles.
Like what?
You need special digital keys to even use the service. Those are API keys. Ah, okay, security.
Right. And you have to manage how many questions or requests you can ask in a certain time period. Those are the usage quotas. You can't just, hammer their servers constantly.
Makes sense. You got to play nice.
Definitely. And of course, like with any big system, things can go wrong. You need to handle errors, little communication hiccups. Leo definitely shared some stories about navigating those challenges.
So, assuming you get the data back from the API, what then?
Okay, so the API sends back the information, usually in a structured format called JSON. Think of it like a neat, organized digital file. The next step is rank determination. Your program needs to process that JSON data to figure out exactly where your target videos, or maybe even your whole channel, appear in those search results.
So, finding your position.
Finding your rank, say, within the top 10 results, or maybe the top 20 for each keyword you care about.
Okay, so now you know your rank right now. But
Right?
the real value is tracking changes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the crucial part. Seeing how those rankings fluctuate over time.
Yeah.
Which leads to data storage. Right. You need to save this information somewhere.
Yep. And they suggested a few ways. Could be simple, like files that look like spreadsheets, CSV files, or a bit more organized using something like a local database called Squall. Or for bigger operations, maybe cloud storage. The point is building your own historical record of where you ranked.
Got it. So you've got the history. What do you do with it?
Well, what good is all that data if you can't actually make sense of it?
Sure.
So the reporting and alerting features are key. This could be really basic, like just showing the rankings in your program's output.
Or maybe something more active.
Yeah, or getting an email alert if, say, a key ranking suddenly drops off a cliff.
Ooh, that'd be useful.
Definitely. Or what Leo is apparently working on, building a proper visual dashboard using web stuff, HTML, CSS, JavaScript to actually see the trends visually. Graphs, charts, much easier to understand.
Yeah, visualizing data makes a huge difference. And the final piece, automation.
You got it. To make this truly useful, you don't want to be running it manually all the time.
Right. Set it and forget it. Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. You need scheduling. Getting that script, that program, to run automatically at regular intervals, maybe once a day, maybe more, maybe less. Always keeping those API quotas in mind, of course.
So it just runs in the background collecting the data.
Exactly. Collecting and storing that ranking data over time.
What's really cool about this whole YouTube SEO sensor idea is how it brings together so many different skills.
It really does. It's not just coding.
No, you're touching on software engineering, the Python, the API stuff, parsing data.
Then there's data science, collecting, cleaning, analyzing that time series, ranking data, maybe visualizing it.
And marketing technology,
Yeah.
right? Applying actual SEO principles, analyzing competitors, monitoring performance.
Absolutely. And also that kind of bigger picture view systems thinking. Understanding YouTube itself as this complex dynamic system.
It's really interdisciplinary. The core idea, though, is leveraging automation to understand a platform that's just constantly changing.
Precisely. And this isn't just, a theoretical classroom project.
No, the Bang Scene AI Studio channel itself is like the perfect real-world case study for why you'd want something like this sensor.
Totally. They've talked about that wasteland feeling, trying to get noticed.
And their Basecamp Everest strategy.
Yeah, that deliberate step-by-step climb up the rankings using strategy. Watching their videos really shows you why automated tracking would be such a powerful tool for creators like them.
And what's great for anyone listening who wants to learn more is that Leo and Mark are pretty open, right? They share their analytics, their keyword results.
They are surprisingly transparent, yeah. It provides this treasure trove of real, authentic data that you could actually look at and analyze yourself.
They even had that example with a Thai language video, didn't they?
Right.
Where the specific goal was hitting #1 for a very particular long-tail keyword.
Exactly. It shows the practical side of SEO in action, setting a specific goal for a specific term.
And it kind of highlights a key idea, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes ranking #1 for a super broad term, if people don't really engage, might actually be less valuable.
Less valuable than absolutely dominating a more specific long-tail keyword where the audience knows exactly what they want and your video delivers it perfectly. High engagement.
Which takes us to some of the really fascinating insights from their David versus Goliath video.
Ah, that was a good one.
So they'd managed to climb all the way to #1 for Make Money Online YouTube SEO. Pretty specific, pretty valuable term.
Right. They'd achieved their goal.
And then, boom, out of nowhere, they dropped to #2.
Yeah. Overtaken by a video promising quick, easy money or something.
Totally. That classic David versus Goliath situation. A smaller strategic channel versus maybe a broader, less targeted approach that just hit some algorithm trigger.
But what was really impressive was how they reacted. They didn't just get mad.
No, they went straight to the data.
Exactly. Pure data-driven response. They dove deep into their YouTube analytics, looked at everything.
Like impressions, how many times the video thumbnail showed up in search.
Right. Views, how many clicks it got. Average view duration, how long people actually watched.
Super important metric.
Crucial. And traffic sources. Where are people coming from? Browse features. Channel pages. Or, the key one here, YouTube search.
And here's where it got really, really interesting, right?
This was the twist. They found that their overall impressions from search had actually gone up. More people were seeing their video in search results.
Which sounds good initially.
But the click-through rate, the percentage of people who saw it and actually clicked that, had gone down.
Okay, why?
Because they figured out they were starting to rank for much broader, more general keywords. Things like just YouTube SEO or faceless YouTube channel.
Okay, so different search terms bringing in different people.
Exactly. And this is where understanding search intent is so critical. Someone searching for make money online YouTube SEO has a very specific problem or goal. Leo and Mark's video matched that intent perfectly, so people watched longer.
Right, high engagement.
But someone searching for just YouTube SEO, they might want a basic definition, a quick overview. Their more specific video wasn't quite the right fit for that broader intent.
So those viewers clicked, maybe watched for a bit, and then left.
Probably. Leading to lower average view duration for traffic coming from those broader terms.
So attracting a wider audience actually hurt their engagement metrics because it wasn't the right audience for that specific video. Fascinating.
It really is. Their big realization was, okay, we're still killing it for our core long-tail keyword, make money online YouTube SEO with super engaged viewers, but we need a plan for this broader search traffic we're now attracting. We need to adapt.
And their solution wasn't to change that successful video.
No, not really. It was more about expanding strategically, creating more content targeted at related niches, maybe slightly broader, maybe other specific long tail.
Building out their content around the topic.
Exactly. And crucially, continuously monitoring those search terms, using their analytics to really understand what people are looking for and how their videos are performing for different queries. They basically became like data detectives.
Data detectives. I like that.
Yeah.
It really just boils down to their main message, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That success on YouTube isn't some hidden secret or magic trick.
Nope. It's logic.
It's logic. It's truly understanding how the platform works. The algorithm, yes, but maybe even more importantly, understanding your audience. Who are they? What do they actually want?
And learning from mistakes.
Learning from mistakes, absolutely. Being persistent, having a clear strategy, a plan.
And underpinning it all, using data, using the actual numbers to make informed decisions, not just guessing.
So just to wrap things up a bit.
Yeah.
We've really seen how YouTube rankings are constantly in flux, which is a huge challenge for creators.
Definitely. It's a moving target.
And this idea of a YouTube SEO sensor offers a smart way to tackle that challenge by automating the tracking process.
Getting that data automatically.
And the real-world journey of Leo and Mark at Bang Scene AI Studio just perfectly illustrates why this kind of data-driven, strategic approach is so vital for finding your way on the platform.
Yeah, it's a great practical example of these principles in action.
And it really makes you think, doesn't it? You know, looking ahead, YouTube, other platforms, they're always evolving so fast.
Constantly.
How might the tools and the strategies we use to understand our audience, to understand search trends, how might they continue to develop? And what are the bigger implications of relying more and more on data to navigate these super complex online spaces?
That's a great question to ponder. Where does this all lead?
Definitely something worth thinking about. And hey, for those of you listening who maybe want to dive even deeper into some of the specific strategies we talked about today, well, exploring resources like the Bang Scene AI Studio channel itself, based on what we've discussed, could certainly offer some more valuable practical insights.